What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, if you're from Detroit, drop it down in the comments. And violence happens everywhere, of course. But so what's going on right now is this lady, councilwoman, her name is Mary Walters, right? She's proposing gun-free zones in downtown Detroit. How do y'all feel about that whole situation? We about to dive in right now.
We're just not going to tolerate it anymore.
Mary Waters, Detroit City Councilwoman at large, says she just turned in a measure to committee that would make several parts of downtown gun-free zones following nearly a half dozen shootings last weekend, one of them fatal.
You're shooting people over what? Place in line, slice of pizza, whatever the case may be. It's senseless violence. I want to say stop the killing, and we're not going to tolerate it. And if you can't stop it, we're going to offer up a very nice vacation for you, where you'll get free meals and so forth every day.
Councilwoman Waters says Greektown, the Detroit riverfront, Hart Plaza, and Spirit Plaza should all be declared no-go areas for people packing heat. She plans to have the city's law department come before the full council to see about the legality of making such a move.
There are some people who like to see it, and of course you have the other people, who says, what about me? The fact that, I'm a licensed gun carrier. What about me? And so they are totally against it, that group of people. And I understand where they're coming from. They says, why don't you just address the root causes? Well, we do need to address the root causes. Broken family structures. Now there's a root cause for sure.
Beloved security guard Daryl Straughter was shot and killed while trying to stop an altercation amid the weekend violence. Charges were filed against a Detroit couple in the homicide. Meantime, opinions are mixed when it comes to how a firearm-free declaration would work for any part of downtown.
I think it's a great idea because anytime you can go into the city and feel like you're safe, that's what we should all feel, right?
I just wonder if they do make these gun-free zones, like, are they going to have police there to check people that are walking through? Like, who's actually going to be monitoring these, metal detectors, if that's what the city is proposing?
People just around getting hit by stray bullets and so forth, because people can't control their tempers. That's what it amounts to.
Now, many gun lobby groups like the NRA have challenged gun-free zones in other municipalities around the country. And again, the city of Detroit's law department would have to walk council through what could even be legally feasible. So it's very much in development, an idea. We'll keep track of it and keep you updated as this all sorts itself out. We're live tonight in downtown Detroit. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
So like he said, that's an idea. That's something that they want to pass. That is something that they are trying to bring to the forefront as soon as possible to calm down the violence that's in downtown Detroit. Okay, I don't have a problem with the police actually doing their job. They want to make it a totally gun-free zone, which means CPL holders, people who are legally able to carry, will not even be able to carry to defend themselves if a situation were to occur.
It was a violent weekend in downtown Detroit, and much of that violence took place in Greektown. There were 5 shootings. 2 people were killed. It's not what anyone wants to see in a place known as a destination for dining and entertainment. Will Jones is live in Greektown with a look at how the incidents are being addressed. Will.
Kimberly, we spoke to some tourists who came in for the weekend, and this is not the story anyone wants them to leave Detroit with after coming to the city for a good time. Detroit police say they made arrests in all of the shootings, and that's because they had a heavy police presence down here this weekend. However, their goal is to prevent shootings, violence, before they happen.
Downtown is going to be for everyone.
Mayor Duggan and Chief White coming together after a violent weekend downtown that left 2 people dead, including a Greektown security guard. Several others were hurt.
We saw hundreds of people enjoying themselves with their family, with their children, and they're fed up with the violence too. Our citizens, our community, our business owners are fed up.
Although police already had a heavy presence downtown over the weekend, it was not enough to prevent bloodshed. Now they're stepping up their efforts, promising increased deployment to summer-like levels.
We're going to be more in the crowds looking for people who are legally carrying weapons. You don't want to bring your gun downtown.
The Greektown Neighborhood Partnership reacting to the weekend violence, saying in a statement,
we're going to be more in the crowds looking for people who are legally carrying weapons. You don't want to bring your gun downtown.
The Greektown Neighborhood Partnership reacting to the weekend violence, saying in a statement, the Greektown neighborhood continues to work very closely with the City of Detroit, Detroit Police Department, partners, and the business community on safety and security issues in the downtown. We fully support our safety partners. We ask that swift action be undertaken to secure our communities and that special measures are put in place so that downtown may be enjoyed and welcoming to all. This group from Columbus came in for the weekend to see a show.
It's concerning because, we come here, we're not too familiar with the area, and when we see that sort of stuff, it's hard to know where we can go during the night and have a good time.
Just gotta walk around kind of extra cautious, but,
plan on doing that night?
Detroit's been great, and just besides that.
Downtown Detroit police are going to be focused on crowd management, noise control, curfew violations, and disorderly conduct. So if you're coming down to Greektown from here on out, you're going to see more officers. We're live in Greektown. Will Jones, Local 4.
So what could possibly be the outcome when they enforce these gun-free zones, right? Let's think about it. For one, yeah, it's a gun-free zone. Therefore, you're not supposed to carry even if you're licensed. Gun-free zones does not stop the violence, or it doesn't stop the shootings. It will stop the legal carriers from carrying, but it won't stop the illegal carriers from carrying because they carry illegally anyways. The issue that I have with that is the CPL holders won't be able to lawfully carry their guns downtown in certain areas, and if there was a situation that was to pop off, they can't defend themselves, period. Okay, and they have to worry about the Detroit police response time, and if you're from Detroit, the police response time is horrible. Throughout the years, I've seen people get robbed, and they at the gas station waiting for hours on top of hours on top of hours. And what happens? No police even show up. I understand that Detroit police is trying to beef up, their presence downtown. The same energy that they're pushing for downtown, they need to push that for the whole city. Downtown is only one little area. Okay, now it's a lot of crimes that's going on in the Metro Detroit area that they're not even focusing on. Like I said, I have nothing against the police and them doing their job, but as far as them trying to say, hey, we want this to be a gun-free zone, that can bring a lot of issues into play. The reason why I'm saying that is because what happens at gun-free zones? That's the place where people actually commit mass shootings. Schools, churches, places where guns are not permitted. If there was a mass shooting in downtown Detroit, God forbid, in one of those gun-free zones, there will be nobody there to eliminate the threat if the cops are not around. See, the main thing is they're saying they're beefing up the presence. We understand that's what you're saying. But are you really going to actually beef up the presence? Because for decade after decade after decade, the same situation happens every year. But now all of a sudden, they want to make a change. Why is that? Drop it down in the comments. I got a couple ideas why this change is happening. And you know what? It is what it is. But do not infringe on people that's carrying legally. The people that's out here committing these crimes are people who don't have a license to carry. They have illegal weapons, and some of them are teens and some of them are young adults. When you think about these gun-free zones that are possibly gonna be created in the near future, first they create the gun-free zones. Then after that, It's gonna go all the way out to the city. Next thing you know, the whole state is gonna be a gun-free state. Then after that, they're gonna be like, hey, turn in your guns because it's a gun-free state. I mean, look at New York. But if this was a Republican state, this wouldn't even be on the news. So y'all have to understand, like, what are they really pushing? What is the real agenda behind all of this? Because the shootings been happening for years. You know, the first hot weekend, y'all should have already knew that it was gonna be chaos throughout the whole city. When it warms up again, of course, it's gonna happen again and again and again. They're pushing for these gun-free zones, right? But watch this video right here. This happened that same weekend. A guy, he was assaulted by some teenagers / young adults. We don't know the exact age, but he was assaulted. He was by himself. Now this video right here shows you why you should carry and why this shouldn't even be up for questioning as to, hey, let's have a gun-free zone over here. Let's have a gun-free zone over here. I understand that the police are looking for people with guns, but why are you looking for people that are licensed to carry? That's kind of backwards to me. Like, y'all should be looking for people that is felons that are carrying illegally. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who are legally carrying who probably should not be carrying because they have mental issues or whatever the case may be. But I would say for the majority of the crimes that are committed, most of them are from people that are felons or illegally carrying. Police investigate video showing group assaulting man stealing his Cartier glasses in downtown Detroit. And this just happened that same weekend that there was 5 shootings and 2 people passed away. And my condolences to them and their family, because, you know, this recklessness should not be happening, period. We should be looking out for one another. And that's just what it is. If one person down, help them up, help them get their stuff together. And we have to build as a community. Like the lady said, it starts at home with these broken homes. I 100% agree with that. But the system is the ones who broke the families up.
You gonna let a nigga take your buck? Oh my God.
Slap them in the face. These young kids.
Boy, stop!
I commend my mans, you know, for not even doing nothing, right? One thing that he understood in that situation, that he was outnumbered. There has to come a time when you have to defend yourself. Now, I'm not saying pull out a gun and start shooting. No. If they're harassing him and smacking him and hitting him, then, you know, he has the right to defend himself in that situation. He's surrounded by four dudes. Boom. They took his glasses, slapped him in the face. Right? They're still surrounding him. Oh boy, he like, man, you know, it is what it is. They glasses, you know what I'm saying? I get another pair. You know? And I understand that, right? He being a bigger person in that situation. Now, if it was somebody else, it probably wouldn't have panned out that way, period. And that's just how I feel, especially if you in the city of Detroit. He knows that he's outnumbered. So if he was to hit one person, they all jumping in and they stumping them. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen after that. Slap him again. Another person slap him. Then Buddy just knock him clean out and then dip. With that being said, all of this happened over the weekend, and y'all want to create gun-free zones. History shows that y'all said y'all was beefing up police presence downtown. Well, where was y'all at right there? Where was the police at right there? When something happens, who's going to be the first responder to a situation? Do y'all feel like there should be gun-free zones in downtown Detroit? Let me know how you feel about this video if you're a CPL holder, knowing that You have the God-given right to carry, and they're trying to get you not to. If you're against people carrying weapons downtown legally, let me know how you feel about that also. I understand that the police are supposed to be here to help us, but at the end of the day, history shows, history proves that sometimes you have to put matters into your own hands until the police actually arrive. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy Jay. I'll holler at y'all on the next one.